Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Families in Focus, our weekly radio show. We meet every Monday at noon, and we touch on different topics that impact the Asian American Pacific Islanders community. This program is put together by the Asian Community Development Council, or ACDC, a group that has been very busy, especially in the last year with this upcoming election finally happening tomorrow. So much efforts have gone into that. We're going to talk a little bit about that, especially our big event that we put together just yesterday, Sunday, and Chinatown Plaza. If you've been there, you know how busy it was. We get so many people turned out for that event, but it's such a success, and we need to recognize the people who've been behind that effort. We're going to talk today, of course, we're going to lead into the election tomorrow. We're going to talk to a new voter, first-time voter, just a brand new citizen, a person who's gotten help through ACDC to get her citizenship, and then finally got to vote just this week, her first election ever. We're going to recap some of the events we've done just leading up to this big day. I can't believe Election Day is tomorrow. So first, let me introduce you to our first guest. We're going to introduce you to Tu Lei. Tu Lei is a brand new citizen. She's actually come through ACDC to get help with her citizenship. And then, so now she's a citizen, and one of the perks, of course, the privilege of being a citizen is to be able to vote. So Tu, thank you so much for joining us today. So talk to us about this. Have you thought about becoming a citizen for a while? Like, what was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way to become the U.S. citizen. To be honest, it takes like years before we can even have the interview with the USCIS. So it's a long process, and I'm thankful for the help I get from until ACDC, everyone, whoever can help. I mean, it's like already helped me before. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Yeah, and talk to me about that process. I mean, if you hadn't gotten the help through ACDC, was it a complicated process? Like, how did they help you in terms of just kind of getting through all those, roadblocks to get there? Like with paperwork?
So because yes, just go ahead. Okay, so yeah, the paperwork is kind of complicated a little bit, and it's like when I don't understand anything, I went to ECDC, so they sat me down, and then they start going through with me with everything, like one by one, of the question, and then they help me out to fill out and explain for me, and then after that, they check with me final time before I send in the paperwork. So they were very truly with everything was straight, and then after that I just gonna wait until it's like they send me a letter for the interview. So it took months before I got that.
Yeah, and we were there actually for your citizenship ceremony, your naturalization ceremony. So talk to me about that experience, especially it happened during COVID. This was just like a few months ago. How was that experience? Was it what you expected? Were you just so excited to be there?
As was like when I received the letter from the USCIS, I was like, US citizenship is like the oath ceremony. Do they do it this time? Is it going to be right through, or is like everyone going to be coming in one room? I was skeptical, and when I get there, like I saw the long line to get into the USCIS. I was like, COVID party. As it joking. Yeah, it's like we limited the people inside the room when we do the oath ceremony. So everyone like 6 feet apart, and everyone we met. So I think it's great that it's like they consider that. Just like everyone is so far away from each other, so we don't have to contact in person. And then the ceremony really fast as well. So it took only like half an hour to get everything done. So it's nice, easy, and relaxed.
That's great. I'm sure it's been a big relief, right, to finally get that paper in your hand. So I know that one of the first things you did was register to vote. How did that feel to be able to do that?
Oh, I was like, I relieved because I can voice my voice about opinion, whatever happened in America. So I'd be able to choose whoever I want to be my president in the future. This is great.
Yeah, great feeling, right? Yeah, and you voted this past just a couple of days ago. How did that experience go? Did you register in person and you vote during early voting, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So it's like I went in there and I was like, what should I do? And Bill was like, oh, get in this line, go to this booth right here. The lady helped me throughout everything. It's like, here's your card to vote on the screen, electric screen. I was like, oh, this is new. You're not gonna vote on the paper anymore. They're like, no, that's so old style. I'm like, okay. And then it's like I voted with whatever question they asking me to, and then it's really fast. So after I done, they give me the key, go to the box and drop it off. Like, oh, it's so easy.
Hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah,
easier than you expected.
yeah, it is. I thought it's gonna be the long process to go in there and then took hours to do it, but it's fast. It's like 15-20 minutes and then I'm out and
Wow.
about. It's like to go home.
Great. Yeah, and we got a picture of you holding up the sticker, so it must be a proud moment for you and your family.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they was like, oh, congratulations, you finally is like can vote. They like finally baby grow up. That's what they said to me. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's great. And there's so many great stories. And I want to bring in Antu Tran into the conversation now. Antu is the Family Services Manager at ACDC. You've been such an instrumental part of registering so many people to vote, you know, get out the vote process, and also helping people like Tule fill out her citizenship applications and finally seeing that through. So, Antu, talk to me about that feeling, you know, hearing Tule's story now, finally through that process, now being able to vote as a citizen. How does that make you feel?
It was my pleasure to be able to help people like Tule, and it feel very inspiring in the same way that you see the result of after the first step until at the end, meaning helping her filling out the application, gathering all the information for the application, and then we still keep in touch during the time that we wait for the interview. So sometime I text her, I said, hey, did you receive your fingerprint appointments yet? And then I will contact her and ask where she's at. And then when she received her appointment notice, she reached out to me, say, Antu, I received my appointment. Can I have set up an appointment with you so we can go over the questions? And yeah, we met a couple times, even though it's during COVID, but we're able to meet through Zoom video call, and we went over all of the questions, and she did really good. And I said, you're really good, you will pass. So, and she did. So I was very happy that she passed the exam, the interview, and then was able to we are able to register her to vote, register online to vote. And then, it's really good to hear that she was able to go and vote during the early voting period. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, and you've worked. I know we're so excited for Tu, and we had to invite her on today because it's so exciting. I think to get first time voters. Sometimes people have lived in this country a long time or been citizens for a long time, but they've never voted, right? So, Antu, you've heard those stories, people who felt compelled to vote for the first time during this election. Talk to me about the work you've done. I mean, leading up to tomorrow, Election Day. It seems like, you've been working on this forever.
Yeah, it's been only like 10 months, but it seems like longer than that. I have learned so much. Civic engagement before, it was totally different for me until I was able to work with ACDC and help with ACDC and get, a voice out there in the community. And a lot of people don't know what to do. Asking questions, how do I register? Where do I go to vote? When is the last day for voting? And they keep asking questions, which, I'm really glad that people reach out to us as ACDC and ask all those questions. And since, of October 10th, this month, actually last month already, after we help people register to vote, we have a team that get out the vote, which means we go door to door and remind people, hey, let's go out and vote. Don't forget to go out and vote. So we have been dropping more than 6,000 door hangers, at people's door in certain area that we we reach out to and remind them to go and vote. And then just the past weekend, Friday, you know, it's the last day to vote in person, in early voting. So we have the event, as you can see on our page. We have a few places in town, like Galleria Mall, Meadows Mall, Mountain Edge, Mountain Crest, Desert Breeze, and a couple other locations that we have table in there. We have staff there just do election protection, which means we help people where to go and stay in line. If they have a ballot ready, fill out, they need to drop off what they need to do so they don't have to stay in line, just go straight in and drop off the ballot. So we were there, we have food, we have music, we encourage people to come. We, you know, say thank you for voting because we need it. So it was really fun, the event. We were there for half of the day until the polling station was closed.
Yeah, it's great. And I was out to help at some of these places too. And you know, ACDC being a nonpartisan nonprofit, you know, we're not pushing people to vote a certain way. The important thing that we're trying to push out is get people to go cast their ballot and use that right to vote. So it's been a very, I think, rewarding process for all of us here at ACDC. And Vi Solano is the Director of Family Services at ACDC. And I want to bring her in here because talking about the election tomorrow, and she's been part of helping so many families not just kind of be aware of the process, but also to help them in other ways, especially those impacted by COVID-19. So Vice, thank you so much for being with us here today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the special event we had. We had so many events leading up to Election Day tomorrow, but yesterday, especially on Sunday, talk to us about what happened at Chinatown Plaza there, especially the help that ACDC was able to give the community.
So, thank you, Patrania. And actually, because of the pandemic, and it really affected the economic conditions of families here in Nevada. So that led to an increase in the number of households that are food insecure. So the aim of ACDC is to provide access to food to our communities. And in the past 3 weeks, we have been providing food sponsored by Caesars Entertainment and also our other community partners in order for our community to get access to it and to avail of that particular food program. At the same time, since there are also, it's flu season, we have in partnership with Immunize Nevada, we have provided free flu shots to our community. So yesterday also, we organized a kickoff press event to announce the several initiatives that is aimed at helping the Asian American Pacific Islander community here in Nevada. And yeah.
Yeah, and talk to me a little bit about the assistance program, because we got some clients of ACDC who came up and said they've already gotten help through this new funding, and it's really made a difference. So I know you talked to some of those clients, one who came up and had a very emotional reaction. Mm-hmm. So talk to us about that.
So the Emergency Services Program aims to support households with a one-time resource for direct cash, housing, and food assistance. So it is a first come and serve basis, and through through December 30 of this year or even earlier. And it is really aimed to provide Nevadans who are affected by the COVID-19. And that, of course, caused them a financial hardship. So as a community and as an organization, we realize that there is a need for this community to have, access to food assistance, cash assistance, and housing assistance. So all individuals that we were helping are from Clark County, and of course, again, who demonstrated really financial hardship because of those they have lost job or got employed, reduction of hours because of COVID-19. And in the clients that we have helped so far, we're very grateful as as I was seen during our event yesterday. So we were able to help her with, you know, providing food for her family, and she has been lining up for the past 2 Sundays just to be able to get food from us. The cash assistance, gift through a gift card from one of our partners in this Asian supermarket was um, was really helpful for her.
And
And
99 Ranch, right? Like stepped up
yes,
to. And tell me about that. So important to, not just any supermarket, but why is it so important to have like an Asian partner in this, especially to give Asian groceries, right? Because that kind of, we are really trying to be sensitive to the needs of our Asian American population.
yeah. So having being able to partner with these Asian supermarkets, because that's normally where our Asian community goes to. There, and being a part of them with for our program, they responded really to the needs of our community. So they understand what our mission is, and they were able to provide that assistance to our community.
That's great. And just seeing the number of people who were there, and too, I want to bring you in. You were there helping to direct traffic. Tell us that just, we've had this was our third week, but it sounds like, or it seemed like people really kind of got the message and they came out in droves yesterday.
Yes, it was a surprise for us as well. We already have lines forming since 7 o'clock, 7
And
in
the
the
event
morning.
started at 10.
At 10, yes.
Yeah.
It was a really long line. It's wrapped around Chinatown, off the street down to 1 block away from Chinatown.
Mhm.
A lot of people was from the I think Caesar Entertainment, and they got the message from the employer. So
Yeah.
a lot of people showed up, and they asked, "Do you have any more next week?" And I was like, "Oh, unfortunately, this is our last week. We've been doing for 2 weeks already."
Mhm.
So a lot of people was very anxious to see what we could provide for the community. And yes, it was pretty hectic, but we were glad that everything went out pretty smoothly at the end. And we're really glad that we're able to help as many family.
Yeah. And too, I know, we're really, yesterday we had members, staff, and volunteers at ACDC who came up and spoke in different languages to people, and you spoke in Vietnamese. And talk to us about that, just the importance of that service, of us being able to provide, in language services to so many people. And you've talked to Vietnamese people who probably, wouldn't know about many of the resources we offer for free if
Right.
if you didn't speak the language.
Yes, I mean, I come across to many different people, speaking different languages. It's really great that we have staff that speak, different languages, so that way it's easier to help people. The language is the problem is the language barrier. If you don't understand, you won't be able to get any help or resource or benefits from what we have for the community. So I have shared with some of the services that we have here at ACDC, even though we promote a lot, but a lot of people that, don't use internet, don't use social media. We try different ways, like a local newspaper, to let them know, we have citizenship assistant here. We have the CARE Act, which means whoever affected by COVID reduce our lost job, we're able to help you paying your rent, or other stuff that we are able to do. So I feel that I'm very fortunate to be in a position that where I could help with the language barrier.
Yeah, that's great. And I know, Vice Solano, you speak Tagalog too. So, you reach out to a lot of people in the community who speak Tagalog. And one of the things you've been talking to people, which is really important, part of our Family in Focus kickoff event yesterday, was the start of open enrollment, right? So enrollment has just started yesterday. Do you want to share a little bit, and maybe you can do it in Tagalog as well, talk about open enrollment and what people can do to get in touch with you?
So, kung kailangan niyo po ng health insurance at alam ko po magulo at kailangan natin ng health insurance at this time, tumawag lang po kayo sa amin through 702-489-8866 at ibisitahin ang aming website at info@acdcnv.org at para makapag-set ng appointment sa aming state licensed health navigators upang makapag-shop at compare at enroll sa health insurance plans dahil ngayon na pandemic, kailangan po talaga natin magkaroon ng health insurance para meron tayong peace of mind at alam nating healthy po at meron tayong insurance para sa ating pamilya.
Yeah, and then, thank you. And yesterday you had Rosa Alejandre. Talk to her about her role and how she's helped you. And she came and spoke to our event yesterday as well.
Yes, so Rosa Alejandra was one of our guest speakers yesterday, and she is the Navigator Program Manager for the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange. And the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange is one of our partners in providing health insurance enrollment assistance to our community. So in partnership with our organization, we are able to assist individuals find, shop, and compare plans that fit their family and budget needs. So Rosa has been a very great partner with us in supporting our program and making sure all of our navigators are aware of their role to help the Nevadans here to get insured.
Okay, perfect. And Tule, I want to bring you in and kind of recap your experience. I know election day is tomorrow. You already did early voting. As a new citizen, what are your feelings right now? And you're going back, you know, you're on vacation, you're actually going back to work tomorrow. Do you feel like what's the biggest difference for you right now, especially just going into the end of the year?
Well, maybe it's like somewhere next year I can go out of state instead of like going around the state for the vacation, hopefully.
Yeah, and you can get a passport now, right? You can get an American passport. That's a big thing. That's one of the first things I did when I got my citizenship. And how's your family feeling? Are they just, you guys are still so excited about everything?
Yeah, they are so ecstatic because they said it's like, oh, next year maybe we can go back to Vietnam and have the Lunar New Year over there. So it's like, it's been a long time since the last time I have celebrate Lunar New Year with my family. It's like the big whole family. So really excited. But hopefully the COVID go away so we can enjoy the vacation more. Otherwise, you know, it's a little bit in the house together.
Yeah. COVID-19 really, you know, impacting everyone, citizens and non-citizens alike, you know, and ACDC has really been working hard to get all people all the help they can get. So onto any last word? I mean, you've done such hard work and election day is coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, I just hope that for those that have not able to vote early, please do it. Tomorrow is the only day. So tomorrow we have all day schedule. We have volunteers from 6 a.m. to 12, you know, midnight if the line is long. So we have staff everywhere. Scattered around the city to volunteer. We're planning to have a long day tomorrow, so we will be there at the the polling station. So please go out and vote if you have not cast your vote yet. And doing after you have put in, for myself, after I have put in the ballot, finished my civic duty, and I feel great. Responsible, and I'm excited to see who's the new president will be.
Yeah, very exciting time. And Vice, even though the election's tomorrow, will be done tomorrow, the work for ACDC is not over, right? So if people want to get in touch with you and ACDC, what are the best ways for people to do that?
So please visit our website at acdcnv.org, email us at info@acdcnv.org, as well as we are on all social media platforms, and call us if you need help with food, cash, or even rental assistance, even in other services such as citizenship, and call us at 702-489-8866, and reach out to us if you need any form of assistance.
All right. Yes, the work is far from over for all the good people at ACDC. Vice, thank you so much for joining us today. Tule as well. Congratulations to you, new citizen, new voter, and to Tran for this program. Next Monday, we actually already have an exciting episode coming up for you. November is actually Diabetes Awareness Month, a disease that affects not just Asian American, but just a huge portion of our population. So we're going to be talking to one of our doctors who've actually been on the show before, Dr. Maria Urbis Tonto, and she's going to be coming and talk about precautions, way to protect yourself, and what you need to know about this disease that affects so many people in our community. So that's coming up next Monday, November 9th on Family in Focus at noon. So thanks again for joining us today. Go out and vote if you haven't already, and tune in next week. Have a great day.